'cause you remember last time, and you're getting older. He's 4 weight classes above me. I do not feel age. I feel prudence. Manny smiled. Prudence. That was good. He turned right on 21st Street and braked in front of a yellow 1-story house. The carport had caved in and was used as a lean-to shed for bikes and rusted grills. The small front porch needed replacing, and the screen door hung askance, the bottom hinges gone. The 3 men got out of the Camaro, and New Guy asked, "What's this place?" "My favorite girl," said Manny. "She's an informant named Kelsey. I heard she knows where Donald is. I ask politely, and then we go get him. Wait here." He shrugged into a khaki sports jacket and fastened the top button and walked up the cracked sidewalk. Boone glanced down at his cargo khakis and blue U.S. Marshal shirt. Colin Parks was dressed the same, and wondered what rules of dress code he'd missed. Manny Martinez bordered on being an urban legend in the Richmond office, a larger-than-life character the size of Paul Bunyan or Wyatt Earp. While the stories couldn't all be true, Boone had to admit the minor details were accurate so far. Fast-paced, well-dressed, and the glistening hair. Manny reached the front porch and raised a fist to knock. On the interior side of the door, Donald the neo-Nazi watched him through the peephole. In his hands, he held a cheap Stevens shotgun. The woman behind him, Kelsey, had been crying. She grabbed at Donald and shouted, "No! Manny!" But Donald threw her onto the couch. He stepped back, leveled the barrel waist high, shut his eyes, and fired. The gun roared, a sonic starburst, and the round caught Manny just above his left hip. The impact, mitigated from ripping through the hollow core front door, spun him around and threw him off the porch into the dirt. Kelsey had purchased the .20 gauge for self-defense years ago at Walmart. A smaller gauge, and she'd loaded it with bird shot because she didn't know better. It had never been fired before. Colin Parks and Boone ducked behind Manny's Camaro and drew their sidearms. "Shit! Manny!" shouted Boone. "Manny! You hit?" Colin punched numbers into his phone, calling for backup and an ambulance. "Shots fired. Martinez hit. Officer down. 21st off Patterson." Manny scrambled to his feet with a groan and lurched for his car. The vivid world throbbed, syncopating with his heartbeat. "Jesus, Manny! She got you!" Boone stared wildly at the ragged hole in Manny's jacket. "Get down!" Wasn't Kelsey. Head ringing, abdomen throbbing, Manny popped the trunk of his Camaro. His voice sounded like a growl to his own ears. "Shot me with cheap Chinese junk, I bet. He used American? Maybe I'd be dead. Go around back. Parks will cover the door. I caramba, that hurts. Maybe you should lay down, sir. Maybe shut up, New Guy. You think it's Donald? Guy we're after?" Dogs barked up and down the street. From inside the house, Donald shouted through the perforation in the door. "You got 10 seconds, Spick, to go back where you came from. Then I come after you." That's Donald. He doesn't deserve this country. He was about to skip town. Guys like him, that's why we get up early. Okay, I get it, sir. Manny took a deep breath and glared at the door, a moment of evaluation. He said, "Donald's not coming out front. Not against 3 of us. He doesn't want to die today." Colin Parks had his phone anchored between his shoulder and ear, barking into it, pistol aimed at the house. Manny's fingers probed his side. The thick T-shirt he wore underneath, made of carbon nanotubes, had hardened on impact to prevent penetration. Instead, he felt like he'd been clipped by a car. Nothing broken, he thought, except maybe his kidney. "You wearing a vest, sir?" "Ballistic shirt, kind worn by diamond traffickers. Saw it on a documentary." Manny said it in a half-groan. He ground his teeth and reached into the trunk. He came out with a personal ballistic shield. He rested it against the tire and reached in again, took hold of a black Ithaca side-by-side shotgun. He pressed the breech lever and